Welcome to Echoes of Enlightenment, where we talk about spirituality, life lessons, and overall self-development. In today's episode, we'll be talking about how to think beyond limits. See, the limiting power of conventional thinking, it keeps us in a box. It doesn't leave much room for us to explore. And what I mean by that is the majority of the way we think is following someone else's thought process. Because you got to think about it. We all, when it's time for us to get some type of advice on something, we jump on YouTube or podcasts, whatever we're looking for. We're looking for some help. So we find somebody and then we listen to what they said and how they did it. And that makes sense. Because if they've already reached a destination that we're trying to go to, then that means they've already done it. So them explaining to us how they did it will help us to be able to do it. And that makes sense. But one thing that we're leaving out is, for example, we'll come up with an analogy. Say it's like a 40-mile hike and it's just different terrain, hills and, there's like a river, we're just hiking from point A to point B. Or that's what the plan is. So we know this person who's hiked this same trail and they've already done it. So we go and listen to what they've done so we can do it. But the thing that we're not factoring in is that person likes to, climb mountains on the weekends. So the way they're going to go is up the mountain or climbing over something because that seems easy to them because that's just something that they do. That's a part of what they do. But they still made it to that destination. They made it to the destination. And then they tell us, they're like, yeah, just go over this mountain ridge right here. And then after you do that, then, you just go through the valley and then keep going. But when it comes to us, what if we've never climbed a mountain in our life? Now we're trying to climb a mountain that doesn't suit us. We don't know the first thing. And now we're wondering why we're struggling trying to get there. We're like, this is a lot harder than they made it seem. The part that we need to incorporate from the person telling us where to go is that they said to go north. Go that way. This is how we get there. Take that advice. And then just because they told you exactly the way they went to get to the destination doesn't mean you have to go that exact same way. Say you grew up swimming and you used to love to swim. Why don't you go around the side of the mountain, explore? You at least know you're going north, so you know you're going the right way. Go peek along the mountain on the side of the mountain and where that river is and see if you can go that way. So you got to broaden your thinking. You don't have to follow in the exact same footsteps because those same footsteps wasn't yours. You're just taking advice from. Then after you swim, down the stream or whatever you're good at. Say you might just be good at hiking through a forest. Go the other way where it's just a forest. You don't have to take the mountain. And if you're not good at swimming, don't go towards the river. But still just continue to go north. They said go north. The person who finished the whole thing, he said go north. So you know you're going the right way. You're just taking a detour. And then after you get past that whole mountain ridge, now you can go back to that advice that they were giving you after the mountain. Get back on that track that they were talking about and go through that valley. Now go through the valley. Now jump back on to what they were saying. See, so we don't want to limit our thinking. And it's kind of easy to limit the thinking just because when we're giving advice, like me on this podcast, and and other people on their podcast and YouTube, just wherever you find people giving it, their opinions on stuff. When we're giving our opinion, it's a blanket statement because we're not giving individual, like one-on-one advice. I mean, in some cases, if you can talk to somebody one-on-one, then you can see what they're good at and what will work best because there's more time to get, specific details. So now we can cater that journey to where it fits you perfectly or, well enough. But usually when we're giving our opinions on stuff, it's a broad statement. It's kind of broad because it needs to kind of reach everybody. So that's why, or we'll just say the way we did it, the way we do things, but just leave room for yourself. Leave room for yourself. Because you know what you're good at. You know what you can do and what you can't do. Just pick and choose out of the stuff that, just long as you're going the right way, that's good right there. But if you realize you can't do something that the person who did it can do, then don't even try, don't even do it. Or you can try to do it, but if you can't do it, just be like, oh well, I know my way through the forest. I know how to build a tent. I know how to do all this other stuff, but I just don't know how to climb. So don't go over the mountain. Just break off of that thinking and do your own thing. Just remember that you're going north, which way they told you that the end is. So, and then you might get there even faster. Or you might get there or it might take a little longer. It doesn't matter just as long as you get there, Then some might be like, well, that's the whole problem is I don't really know if I have enough creativity to go off the path. That's why I came to this channel or, to this podcast to get the play-by-play on how to do this. And this is how you can create creativity without realizing that you're doing it. You're going to kind of trick yourself. Listen to the advice that you get on, the journey. Listen to whatever, the person's saying on how to get to that destination. And after you listen to it, don't listen to another video right away. Don't go and start washing dishes. Don't do anything else. Listen to that, video that how to get from point A to point B, and then turn off your phone or just set it down. Don't turn on the TV and just lay there and just think about what video you just watched, because that's going to be fresh in your mind. It's going to be it's the only thing that's going to be on your mind right there during that time, because you just heard it and you searched it out. So it's going to be on your mind. And automatically, while you're thinking about that, you're going to start analyzing that talk on how to get to the destination, whatever the destination is. You're going to start analyzing that. And by you analyzing it, that's already you adding your own touch to it without you even realizing, because you're like, well, how can I do that? As soon as you ask yourself, how can I do that? Then yourself is going to give you a solution on how to do that. And creativity is already happening right there. It's already beginning. All you needed was that little spark of go north from that video, and then just sit there. And if you're not distracted by anything else, by flipping, checking on other videos or whatever else, your mind is going to wander. And when your mind wanders, that's where the creativity goes. As long as it's wandering about that subject, you have no choice but to kind of get creative about it. Because you're going to think about it like, okay, there's not a mountain, but there's a river right there. I know how to swim. Oh yeah, I could definitely do this. And then you're automatically going to start creating your own path. So don't put a limit on how you get started, and don't put a limit on how you're going to get there. Leave it free, leave it open. There's no reason why you have to put a limit on there. It just hinders you. It puts you on like a train track. You know how trains can only travel on the track? That's That's how it is when you're trying to follow somebody's exact footsteps. So just pick and choose what works for you. Just, mainly just know that you're going north, you're going towards that destination. You know that it's that way. Whatever way that is, it's that way. That's already that start right there. And then just pick and choose and swap out the things that you're good at with the things that, they're good at. Just swap them out. You don't have to use exactly what they did. Just do it. You can even do it slower. You could take even 3 more days or however long it takes. Just enjoy your own journey getting there. And just tailor it to where it works for you. But I'm going to end this right here. Until next time.